Goeienaand, good evening fellow South Africans and citizens of the world. And on this channel we have had quite a few videos and even a live stream with the Liberty Fighters Network. And the judgment in their court case, which was in their favor, has thrown the whole lockdown into confusion, which is par for the course in South Africa. Everything is completely confused because you got a clueless ANC government. The Liberty Fighters Network said the lockdown was effectively over when a judge compelled Cogta Minister Nkosazana Dlamini-Zuma to amend certain lockdown regulations, even though he granted her leave to appeal. But legal experts say the lockdown regulations remain in place now that Dlamini-Zuma has been granted leave to appeal. In a scathing judgment on the 2nd of June, Judge Norman Davis ruled in favor of the Liberty Fighters Network when he found that the national lockdown was irrational, unconstitutional, and invalid. Now, you know what the key word attached to irrational is? Lack of logic. L factor, missing in action. We see it time and again with the ANC government. Anyway, Davis said, the starting point was not how can we as a government limit constitutional rights in the least possible fashion whilst protecting the inhabitants of South Africa, but rather we will seek to achieve our goal by whatever means, irrespective of the costs, and we will determine, albeit incrementally, which constitutional rights you as the people of South Africa may exercise. He described the rules relating to funerals, exercise, and the informal sector as perplexing, but he suspended his declaration of invalidity for a period of 14 days so that Dlamini-Zuma could amend the regulations. Shortly after, some legal experts called the judgment flawed. One said if it went to appeal, it would most likely be overturned. On the 10th of June, Dlamini-Zuma asked for leave to appeal, and on the 30th of June, Davis granted her leave to appeal to the Supreme Court of Appeal, or the SCA, against the court's blanket declaration of invalidity. But the judge said the irregularities he expressed, described as irrational, should still be amended within 10 days. Since he granted leave to appeal, his ruling declaring the entire lockdown invalid is therefore suspended in terms of Section 18(1) of the Superior Courts Act. Aside from those regulations he specifies should still be amended. The regulations which have to be amended in terms of the ruling include those relating to 1. Limited exercise, 2. The movement of children, 3. Funeral attendance, 4. The closure of beaches and public parks, and lastly, the declaration of the contravention of certain disaster regulations being a criminal offence. The regulations relating to interprovincial travel, the wearing of masks, the closure of gyms, and the prohibition of tobacco sales, among others, therefore remain in force until the SCA has made a ruling. However, by declaring Regulation 48(2) invalid, Davis ruled that people could no longer be criminally charged for contravening regulations banning tobacco or liquor sales. University of Pretoria public law professor Bernard Bekink said because leave of appeal was granted against a blanket declaration of invalidity, Davis's initial ruling became suspended. Aside from the regulations, he specifically ordered the minister to amend. This means that, aside from the specified regulations, Davis's ruling has no effect pending the outcome of the appeal. The regulations must still be obeyed. If the amendment of the regulations Davis specified was not carried out within 10 business days, these will become invalid by next week, when the deadline has passed. University of the Western Cape Public Law's senior lecturer, Dr. Sarah Fick, said Dlamini-Zuma still has the option of applying directly to the SCA for leave to appeal Davis's ruling, including the areas he specified that she needed to amend. If the minister follows this route, Davis's entire ruling will be suspended, including the sections he specified that the minister should amend. Fick said this would mean that people would still have to comply with those specific regulations identified by Judge Davis as invalid, pending the outcome of the leave to appeal application. Now, the big question is, can you be criminally prosecuted for breaking lockdown regulations? Fick said it would be interesting to see what would happen to the criminal cases against people arrested for contravening regulations that have since been declared unconstitutional. This includes the people who are arrested for exercising outside of the limited exercise window. She said Davis did not limit the retrospectivity of his order, which means there is no exact date from where the regulations were unconstitutional in his eyes. Fick concluded by saying, "We would probably have to wait and see whether the minister seeks to leave to appeal from the SCA against a part of the decision for which Judge Davis refused leave to appeal before considering these consequences." So there you go, guys. Confusion reigns. Par for the course in South Africa. Please remember to subscribe to be kept informed. Ring the bell for the updates. Please like this video. Please share this video. And above all, please stay safe.